Hi, this is Anaya. Welcome to the channel. Let us first thank the Most High for this time is grace, kindness, and mercy. Today's message is about, could 2024 really be 2012? We're going to look at some dates and do some math with that result, 4,400 days, and look at how these two dates correlate. We'll also look at something about the Mayan 2012 prophecy. We know the Hebrew calendar and the Gregorian calendar won't line up because there's 365 days on the Gregorian calendar and approximately 354 on the Hebrew calendar. The Hebrew year usually consists of 12 alternating lunar months of 29 and 30 days each, except for Heshvan and Kislev, which sometimes have either 29 or 30 days, and totals 353, 354, or 355 days per year. But back to this 11-day difference in the Gregorian and Hebrew calendars. I took the 11-day difference and times it by our 400 years of bondage, and we have 4,400, same as the results for these two dates. So 4,400 days divided by 365 days is a 12-year difference, with the 0.0547 number representing 19 days. So 12 years and 19 days from the 2024 solar eclipse takes us to March 20th of 2012. And we can see March 20th was the spring equinox for 2012. And remember, the Hebrew New Year is always on the first new moon after the spring equinox, which was March 22nd for the Hebrew New Year for that year 2012. So the Hebrew New Year for 2024 will be on April 8th, the day of the Great American Solar Eclipse. So this is where I got the two dates, April 8th and March 22nd, with the eclipse as the starting point to count back 12 years. And came to the 4,400 again. Remember the 11-day difference times the 400 years. So these are our generations starting in the year 3973, when Adam had lived 130 years. He had a son named Seth, and when Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh, and so forth. I put this in my solar eclipse video, but if you consider it took 6 days for the heaven and earth to be created, and the 7th day was rest, maybe a day is 1,000 years, and 6,000 years represents our lifetime. And in the 7,000th year, we'll have rest. So I took the year 2024 of the eclipse and subtracted it from the 6,000 years of man, and it took us to the year 3976, which was a 3-year difference from the year of Adam. And the times in a dividing of times verse is where I thought represented a 3.5 years of tribulation, which accounted for these 3 years difference. And I always thought when they said time and times and a dividing of times verse, I thought the dividing of times part meant a half a year. But someone mentioned in another video the dividing of times could represent how they divided up the times by adding the Gregorian calendar to confuse us so we wouldn't realize or understand the times in our redemption. So the 12-year difference could represent a year for each tribe. And notice how a lot of things use the 12, like 12 months, 12 hours, 12 in a dozen, 12 inches in a foot, 12 cranial nerves, 12 pairs of ribs on each human, 12 nations that signed the treaty for Antarctica in 1959. And now just recently I see that Jupiter has 12 new moons, making it 92. So all of these things are significant and may be a sign. The 2012 phenomenon was a range of eschatological beliefs that cataclysmic or transformative events would occur on or around December 21st, 2012. Various astronomical alignments and numerological formulae were proposed for this date. A New Age interpretation held that the date marked the start of a period during which Earth and its inhabitants would undergo a positive physical or spiritual transformation, and that December 21st, 2012 would mark the beginning of a new era. Others suggested that the date marked the end of the world, or a similar catastrophe. Scenarios suggested for the end of the world included the arrival of the next solar maximum, an interaction between Earth and Sagittarius A, a supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy, the Nibiru cataclysm, in which Earth would collide with the mythical planet called Nibiru, or even the heating of Earth's core. Scholars from various disciplines quickly dismissed predictions of cataclysmic events as they arose. Mayan scholars stated that no classic Mayan accounts forecasting impending doom, and the idea that the long count calendar ends in 2012 misrepresented Mayan history and culture. Astronomers rejected the various proposed doomsday scenarios as pseudoscience, having been refuted by elementary astronomical observations. So this will be our Hebrew New Year for 2023. It will be March 21st, because the Hebrew New Year is always on the first new moon after the spring equinox, and the spring equinox is on March 20th. So that will be all for now. I thank you for listening. May the Most High forgive, heal, guide, and protect the true seeds, the true believers, and our loved ones. May there be truth, peace, happiness, health, deliverance, salvation, redemption, forgiveness. In your Most High grace and name we plea.